New developments overnight in that fatal police shooting in Minnesota. A bride-to-be killed after she called 911 for help. Now, one of the officers who was there on the scene is revealing new details about what happened. ABC's Lindsay Davis is in Minneapolis with more. Good morning, Lindsay.
Good morning to you, Robin. We know that Justine Damond made that 911 call on Saturday night, and we know that police responded to that call. Well, today we are expecting to get a transcription of that call once her family gets to see it first.
Late Tuesday, investigators revealed new details from an interview with the officer driving the vehicle that Justine Damond was standing beside when she was killed. Two officers responded to Damond's 911 call Saturday night, reporting a possible assault outside. We're now learning the officer who fired the shot, Mohammed Noor, has declined to be interviewed.
It's frustrating to have some of the picture, but not all of it. We cannot compel Officer Noor to make a statement by law, but I wish that he would make that statement.
But Matthew Harrity, who was driving the police car, answered questions Tuesday, saying the officers drove south through the alley in search of a suspect with the squad lights off. Harrity told investigators they were first startled by a loud noise nearby. Then Damond approached the driver's side window, and Noor then fired his gun through the open driver's side window. According to Minneapolis TV station KARE, Harrity was stunned when his partner opened fire. It's still unclear just why the officer's body cameras were not rolling during the incident. And while the police chief has been in contact with her executive team over the past 3 days, she's been out of the state on a personal trip, which a police spokesperson said she plans to cut short, returning to Minneapolis today. Overnight, the Australian Prime Minister joined the growing chorus of people demanding answers in the death of Justine Damond.
How can a woman out in the street in her pajamas seeking assistance from the police be shot like that? It is a shocking killing.
What's unique about this case is the district attorney says he does not plan to give the case to a grand jury to decide whether or not to prosecute the officer. He says that it's a determination he'll make himself. Robin?
All right, Lindsay, thank you. Going to bring in our chief legal analyst, Dan Abrams. You've been following this very closely. We heard what the mayor said about the police officer who shot Justine, that by law that he can't be compelled to make a statement.
Yeah, he's got a Fifth Amendment right, just like anybody else, to invoke that right to say, I'm not going to testify. He is clearly being looked at in the context of a criminal investigation, and it is his right not to testify. The problem with that, of course, is that it looks terrible, right?
Sure.
In connection with an investigation into a police shooting, when the officer says, I'm going to invoke my Fifth Amendment right against self-incrimination, I'm not going to talk, I'm not going to testify. You know, they're going to certainly lead to a lot of questions about that.
And there's still a lot of questions why the body cams were not turned off.
Yeah, and I think it's pretty clear that this ended up being a violation of their policy there, meaning they're supposed to turn on their body cams. Remember, these are things you have to turn on and off, right? So they're supposed to turn them on either when there is criminal activity or before the use of force. Now, expect that the officers would say, look, we were just patrolling, and if that other officer's testimony is accurate, which is he suddenly hears a loud sound, and then there's a shot, they may say we didn't have time to take that kind of action in terms of turning it on. And they are supposed to turn them on as soon as it is safe to do so.
Because even if you turn it on, doesn't it go back in time?
Correct.
In recording?
30 seconds.
Right.
It goes back 30 seconds. So it should have recorded the 30 seconds prior to the time that they turn it on as well. So that certainly would have been invaluable evidence in the context of this investigation. And you can tell that everyone involved in the investigation is frustrated that they don't have that.
All right. More to come.
Yep.
All right, Dan, thanks so much. We'll have you back in just a little bit.